What's up, it's your girl, Sammy, coming at you from Dirty Jersey. I'm 22 years old. I am brand new to YouTube, and this is my life. I don't know if you can hear him, but in the background you can hear my puppy, Scooby. He's getting very upset because he was naughty, so he's in timeout. He's 2.5. He's a Hound Shepherd mix. He is my everything. I also have a 4-year-old cat. His name is Simba. He's a gray and white domestic short hair. And I have a almost 26-year-old child, aka my husband. This is pretty much just about my life, my day-to-day. Being a Starbucks barista in the shittiest state in the United States. And, yeah. Welcome to my life. So, we're going to start off with a little bit about me. As you now know, I'm 22 years old. I have 2 animal children, and I'm married. I've been with my husband for almost 3 years now. We own rent, whatever you want to call it, our own apartment. We've lived here for about a year now, and what can I say? It's difficult living out here. Rent rate's high, minimum wage is low, people don't tip when they're supposed to. Being a barista, I live off of my weekly tips. That is like my gas money, food, cigarettes, what have you. Yes, I know, cigarettes are a bad habit. Whatever. Don't judge me. I ain't judging you. So, anyway, we'll start off with what I did today. Shush. You're in timeout, you naughty. So, today I got up 4 o'clock in the morning, like I normally do, to go to work. Mind you, I don't have to be at work until 5, but my friend drives me to and from work, so he's usually here by 4. So he came, picked me up, went to work, did what I do, served people as best I could. Had a couple issues with a couple, coffee addicts, I guess you could call them. They're really bitchy before they get their coffee in their system, and then they're like total 180, flip the script, being nice to you, smiling at you, telling you have a great day. It was a roller coaster today. It was a roller coaster. First things first, we opened 5:30. Oh, before the sun comes up, don't you love it? Just for some lady to tell me not to tell her to have a great day. Now, in what world does that make any sense? Because to me, it doesn't. But whatever. I'm not going to debunk. My days goes on, and, everything's happy dandy, hunky-dory, whatever you want to say. Gets to be about 10 o'clock. I'm about to go off the floor so that I can go into the cafe to sample our brand new blonde espresso. And as I'm walking around sampling it, I notice a customer sleeping in one of our leather lounge chairs. Mind you, this customer has been banned from our store. He's not supposed to be there. And I'll tell you why he got banned. A couple months ago, he came in. Actually, not even a couple months ago. A little bit before Christmas. Maybe 2 weeks before Christmas. He comes in and he goes, well, I don't really want to say it, but he goes to the bathroom in one of our chairs. Gets up, switches chairs, and ends up doing the same thing in the second chair. So what happens is he's told he has to leave. Our chairs are no longer able to be used. They're stuck in the little quarantine area of our store where no customers are allowed to go. And, life goes on. Well, today, he came in, and he fell asleep in one of our other leather lounge chairs. Mind you, he's banned from the store. I'm going to repeat myself because it's imperative that you understand that he is not supposed to be in our store. Not at all. He falls asleep in our leather lounge chair, and he lays there for about a good half an hour when my manager notices that he's in the store. She goes and she jolts him awake because just tapping him gently and saying, "Sir," was not working. So she jolts him awake and she says, "Sir, you need to leave." He goes, "What? Why?" And she says, "Well, because of what happened about a month ago." And he was like, "Well, what happened about a month ago?" She was like, "You urinated in 2 of our chairs." And he was like, "Did I?" And she was like, "Yes, sir, we have footage of you doing so." Mind you, you can't see him actually peeing his pants, but you can see the wet spot in the chair, and it's kind of gross. Not kind of, it is gross. That's disgusting. I'm sorry, but that's absolutely fucking disgusting. So she fucking tells him that he needs to leave, and he does not understand. So he doesn't leave. She tells him again, "Sir, you need to leave right now. If you don't leave, I will have no further choice but to call the cops." He says, okay, I'm going. He's an Indian guy, and I'm not being racist. I'm not trying to say anything bad about it. I'm just trying to describe the man who had to be kicked out again. So she kicks him out. He leaves, and then 5 minutes later, I'm getting ready to run trash before I clock out, and I notice that he's in one of our bench seating behind the bar, sleeping again. So I turned around, and I told her, I was like, "Mindy, he's back." So she goes and takes care of it, and he says, "Well, I'm not leaving. You can't kick me out." And she was like, "Sir, I can kick you out. You're banned from the store. You are not allowed in here at all. I'm going to call the police if you don't leave right now." He said, "Well, go ahead, call the police. I'm not going anywhere." So she calls the police, and they show up. They escort him out. Hadn't seen him since. At least as far as I know. I left about 20 minutes after the cops took him out. Now, I'm not one to judge. Some people just can't hold their functions. But we have a bathroom that you could easily go and use. It's not like we're one of the only Starbuckses in the entire area that has a bathroom. I understand you're sleeping, you're exhausted, whatever, it happens. Sometimes it happens, but it does not happen twice in the same day, in the same place, just another chair over. It can't happen like that. That's weird, That's weird. So anyway, the rest of my day goes on. I have a couple friends come over. I just got a new laptop thanks to my husband, which is how I'm going to be talking to you guys. And my day goes on like normal, I come home, I smoke a cigarette, I eat some food, I hang out, I'm watching TV right now, I'm talking to you, I'm doing what I do. People are blowing up my phone, sorry guys. Now all of a sudden when I'm doing something, I'm popular. Ain't that always the case? Ridiculous. Anyway. Answering the phone call. So that was my best friend. She just called me. And boy, do I have some juicy news for y'all. So, this girl that I know, we're not going to name names, we're not going to, say nothing. It's too specific. Is a lying-ass, dirty-ass bitch. And I'm not usually one to be mean. I don't like being mean. Being mean is not who I am. I'm a very happy, energetic, outgoing person until you push my buttons. Once you push my buttons, it's game over. Once you push that certain nerve, you pinch that nerve, ooh, girl, you better run. Because I'm finna go off. And y'all can hate on me in the comments and say whatever the fuck you want because ain't none of it gonna faze me. You can tell me that I'm fucking ugly as shit. I don't care. What y'all have to say has nothing to do with my thoughts on myself. Alright. This girl lied about miscarrying her child. She said she miscarried on Christmas Day. That's a fucked up day to say you miscarried. She was caught drinking on New Year's Eve, which raised a whole lot of questions. Once those questions were raised, she started running her mouth, thinking she all big, she gonna say something, she gonna do something. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. You ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't gonna say nothing. You just gonna run your mouth and tell me to keep your name out of mine. Which is fine. I'm not saying your name. I'm not saying who you are. I'm just saying that you're a shiesty bitch. And that don't sit well with me. I don't like being this mean, vindictive person, but if she comes at me the wrong way, I'm going to have some very choice, very not so nice words to say to her. You don't lie about miscarrying. My husband and I have been trying to have a baby for almost a year now, with no luck. And I would appreciate any advice that any mommies who struggled to get pregnant, or any mommies who have any advice on how to help me get pregnant. I would appreciate that, and you can set that down in the comments below. But I don't tolerate people lying about miscarrying, about having a stillborn baby, about losing their child to Child Protective Services. I don't like that lying, fake crap. And if you do that, and we're friends, you're cut. Immediately, just done. But anyway, we're going to go back to my day, other than this raunchy bullshit. So I worked until about noon. I went home after stopping at my husband's job to pick up my new laptop. And I came home, and my puppy was broken out of his crate. Mind you, he was only alone for about an hour and a half, so he should have been fine. Because usually when I leave him for like an hour and a half, he is okay. I mean, you can hear him crying in the background. He's very upset that he's in the crate. He does not want to be in that crate. And unfortunately, I can't take him out because he's on timeout. And I have to follow through. Or else he's never going to learn. Good idea. So, anyway, I get home after picking up my laptop from my husband, and I immediately try to log in. And my loving husband put a password on my laptop. I didn't know what it was. I tried his name, I tried my cat's name, I tried the dog's name, I tried everything I could possibly think of. And then he finally texted me and told me what it was. And it was the cutest thing ever. I'm not going to tell y'all because, you know, ain't nobody telling nobody passwords or anything. But it was so cute. And the password hint is he is the best. And he is the best. I mean, granted, this is my Christmas present and it's a couple weeks late, but whatever. It's all good. Our anniversary is coming up in March. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully we get to go out and have a nice little dinner. Hang out. But other than the happiness and the crap that happened today, I've had a pretty uneventful day. So I'm going to give you a little backstory. I was born in 1995 in September to my parents, Paul and Roxanne. My mother struggled with drug addiction and alcohol addiction. And she was, you know, in and out, rehab facility treatments and stuff like that. And when I was 5, she was killed. I didn't know that she was killed until I was about 18. it was like 2 weeks before my 18th birthday, when an aunt on her side of the family, out of the blue, messaged me on Facebook. She told me what had happened and how my mother struggled really bad with her drug addiction and with everything that she went through. She struggled with, she was addicted to cocaine, she was addicted to crack, she was addicted to prescription painkillers, cigarettes, and alcohol. I realized that me smoking cigarettes kind of follows in her footsteps on one path, but other than that, I don't touch any hard stuff. I don't really drink. I have maybe a drink here and there. Holidays for me are really rough because I don't really have a family. So I'll drink around the holidays, and it really never goes past 1 or 2. But after she was killed, my father had to give me up, pretty much. He left me with in a very loving home with my grandparents. Don't get me wrong, I loved living with my grandparents every second of every day. They treated me like I was their one and only, like I was their first daughter. They had all their kids were boys, all 4 of them. Even the 5th one that was a stillborn, rest in peace. I was their only daughter. And they raised me to know right from wrong. They raised me to respect my elders and to basically treat others how I would want to be treated. They put me through 7 years of Catholic school and then 5 years of going through public school. When I left Catholic school to go into public school, I was bullied really bad. My first day of 8th grade was the first time I had ever set foot into a public school, and I was immediately slammed into a locker because I wasn't one of the kids that everyone had grown up around. Nobody knew who I was. I was just some girl who came out of the blue and just started school. Mind you, it was my 8th grade year, the only year that I went to a public middle school. Everything else before that was Catholic school. So, 8th grade comes and goes, I pass certain classes with flying colors, I fail certain classes. I'm very bad at math and science, but I am very good at English and history. Now, I'm not saying that I speak perfectly. I'm not saying that I don't have flaws when it comes to my way of using the English language. I'm not saying that I'm in any way perfect. Don't take it that way at all. But those 2 subjects were the only subjects I ever felt good at something. So I went on to high school to pretty much right into AP classes for English and history. And it was a breeze, because most of the things that I was learning in those classes I had already learned due to a Catholic school education. Catholic school, you go through the basics, math, English, science, and history, and then you also have religion. Oh, and PE, but who likes PE? Except for whoever's athletic enough to actually, make it through one class without dying for air. Like myself. So, all through high school, I was in AP English, AP History. It was all good, but I was in, the slower math and the slower science. No biggie. Didn't really bother me. Didn't really care. But the problem was I looked different than everyone else. I wasn't this pretty young thing, skinny, gorgeous, no flaws, perfect skin. I was fat. I still am fat. But now I'm okay with me being fat, because I have a husband who loves me unconditionally. So, going through high school, I was bullied, I was picked on, I was slammed into lockers, I got sucker punched in the back of the head once or twice by this girl who's completely irrelevant now, but whatever. So I went through high school just thinking, I'm never going to fit in, I'm never going to fit in, I'm never going to find where I belong, I'm never going to have a group of friends, this, that, and the other thing. Until senior year. I left Cherokee High School, which is where I went freshman through junior year, and I went to Eastern High School, which is where I spent my senior year. I made so many new friends when I went to Eastern because no one judged me by the way I looked. And at that point in time, I had a pixie cut, bright red, like we're talking Ronald McDonald red hair. Right now my hair is pink and blue. I know you can't tell because of the crappy quality of this video. But I don't know. Eastern was a different story. I had a lot of friends. I had, a couple favorite teachers. I was still going through AP English and AP History. And it was fine. It was fine. I didn't really go out with my friends. I mean, we would only see each other at school. There was one friend that I hung out with almost on a daily basis. Her name was Lexi. She was my best friend. But she turned on me about a year after high school. She went and did her own thing, and I went and did my own thing. And that was the end of my high school friendships. Now, I only have 2 best friends left. My best friend Brittany, who is the mother to my godchildren, Adeline and Julian. And my best friend Nicole, who lives down in Florida. Now, these girls have been in my life for just under 10 years each. I've known Brittany for about 9 years, and I've known Nicole for 7. As I was saying, my best friend lives down in Florida. Well, one of my best friends lives down in Florida. I don't get to see her that often, which makes me a little upset because, we're really close. We're almost like sisters. We call each other twins. Like, she's my twin, I'm her twin. Unfortunately, I'm using the word like a lot, and I really hate when people do that, but I don't really do so well speaking in front of people. Even though I'm not technically in front of you guys, I feel like you guys are right there. So, her being in Florida has made us, hanging out, seeing each other every day a little more difficult. We video chat here and there. Like, I call her, she calls me. We talk every day, at least through text message. And then my other best friend, Brittany, lives about 3 towns over from me. And she lives with her boyfriend and her 2 children, my goddaughter and my godson. Let me pull up a picture because these 2 are cute. But anyway, I get to talk to her every day, and I, FaceTime. We talk, about everything that's been going on in our lives and who we've been talking to and who we've been trying to keep in touch with. And it's great. But there are times where I really, really wish I could just go right over to her house and see her. But I can't do that because, I don't have a car right now. Which is fine. I'm not mad. But I wish I could see her. Here are my god kids. They're super freaking cute. I have a niece who's 10 years old, and a brother and sister who are 15 and 7 in that order. And I also have an older sister who is 32. We're almost exactly 10 years apart. There is 1 week between our birthdays. I am the 12th and she's the 19th. So, as I've said, I don't really have a family. And I know I just explained I have a brother and sisters and blah, blah, blah. But family is not always measured by blood. Like, you don't choose your blood family, but you choose the family that you keep close in your heart. And my friend Nicole, my friend Brittany, Brittany's boyfriend and her 2 children, my husband, my in-laws, that's my family. They've all been there for me through a lot of stuff, and it would have been a lot harder if I didn't have them. But I'm not going to drone on about my boring life as far as, my family goes. But I will tell you this. Keep those you care about very close to your heart, because one day they could turn on you, and it's not going to be the best thing. It may break your heart. It may ruin another friendship of yours. Whatever the case may be, keep them close. If they turn on you, they turn on you. They turn on you, you cut them. I can only give this strong word of advice. Be very careful who you get close to. Because if you get close to somebody and you tell them all your deepest, darkest, most intimate secrets, and they have negative intentions for those secrets, for whatever you tell them, you're going to be up Schitt's Creek without a paddle. And you're going to wish you didn't trust them. But that's all I have to say for now. I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe.